What's up guys and welcome to today's video and a new series where I'm going to be reading and reacting to creepy stories from the internet and Reddit. These videos will probably be a little less edited than my normal videos, and it's just going to be a little bit of a calmer paced video and just me sitting here and reading some creepy stories and telling you what I think about them. So let's get into today's video. The first story that we're going to be reading was posted by Defiant Albatross and is titled Black Hair. I lived in the same house for over 12 years before I moved out. It was an innocent vintage house that laid atop a hill. We had a maid that usually cleaned our house once a month. She was nice and we were close with her. We were quite surprised when she said that she was quitting. We kept asking her why, but she wouldn't tell us, saying that she wasn't comfortable with telling us. We were beyond confused. After lots of begging, she finally told us what made her want to quit. She said that while she was cleaning the house, she saw a little girl in a white dress with long black hair that covered her face. We all had dirty blonde hair, and we weren't home at the time she was cleaning the house. We were super freaked. That night, when I was in bed, it suddenly got really cold. I hugged the nearest pillow next to me and prayed that it would help keep me warm. That morning, I woke up and found a long black lock of hair in my bed. The pillow I was hugging was on the opposite side of the room. My siblings pricked me a lot, so I automatically assumed they were messing with me. So I ran downstairs into their rooms and told them that it wasn't funny. They denied it, but I didn't believe them. That was until they told me they weren't home last night and had just got back this morning. They were both at a sleepover with their friends. I knew my parents wouldn't do this, so I immediately was freaked out. Since that moment, everyone refused to sleep over, claiming that they would see a little girl of the exact description of our maid staring at them. I would keep waking up with strands of hair in my bed. It got so bad to the point where I started sleeping in my parents' room. We moved out now, but I soon found out that way back a serial killer lived in our house, that buried his victims under the house, and that he preferred little girls. This still freaks me out to this day. I don't blame you. That freaks me out to this day too. If a person cleaning my house saw, or first of all, if a person cleaning my house just randomly quit and then wouldn't tell me why, and then told me that they saw someone in my house when no one was there, I probably wouldn't believe them. But then when I woke up and found black hair in my bed, that's the moment I would have moved out no matter what. I would have been out of there, no matter how old I was, because you didn't say how old you were, but I would have been out of there. I would have been sleeping at my friend's house every night. I would have, or not been sleeping at all, but I would not have been at the house. That's all I can say. And with that being said, we'll go to the next post, which was posted by Stitches is Dead 413 and is titled Amnesia. Growing up, I saw things. My mom pushed it off. My light died. That scared me. All right, we're back in business until my camera dies because it is on low battery. I think this is where I left off. Growing up, I saw things. My mom pushed it off as it was just imaginary friends, like all parents do. But after a while, she started realizing it wasn't that. I had turned 9 and I had an agonizing fear of things following me and seeing things everywhere. My mother started taking me to church, but sadly that didn't help. After a while, I stopped talking to her about it. I just didn't want to bother her about it. I grew up in agony as these things kept bugging me. Fast forward 4 years later, when one day a new one appeared. A lady with long black hair, dressed in white, skinny as all get out. I never saw her real face. since it was always covered by her hair, but she seemed like one of the nicer hallucinations I had. The lady just sort of followed me in the waking and dream worlds. In my dream, I'd forget what we'd do, but I knew she was there. After a while, I started calling her Amnesia. That's how I referred to her. I never really thought anything about it until one day in May of 2016. I was 15 then. I had come home from a band concert, and everyone in my family was outside along with other people who were staying with us. Smoke was coming out of the house, and all the lights were off. I ran out of the car and asked what was happening. They explained that our 2 dogs were barking at something in the hallway. Evan, a girl staying with us at the time, had went to see what was happening. In our hallway stood an 8-foot tall, shadowy male figure. She had screamed and got everyone. Her stepdad started smudging and blessing the house. While I was outside, I started talking to one of Heaven's sisters about the figure. I explained that I had a hallucination that fit the description. I called him Dream Taker. After I said that, Heaven's sister had me tell my mom everything. About my dreams, my hallucinations, everything. When I told her about amnesia, all the color in her face went cold. She told me that after I was born, she had taken me home to our apartment at the time. One day, she had put me in my crib and then went to go lay down for a bit. Just to be clear, my mother's bedroom was just across the way from mine, and she could see my crib from her bed. She had fallen asleep for a while when she was suddenly awoken to what sounded like someone walking in the hallway towards her room. Her blood ran cold. All she could do was look in horror. There in the hallway was a pale, skinny lady. She had charcoal black hair that was a tangled drape over her face. She slumped over while walking as her white, tattered dress dragged behind her. She started walking to my room, and my mother immediately started to get up, but she couldn't. She felt as if an invisible force was binding her to the bed. The lady stopped and turned to look at my mother. Her hair swept from her face to reveal a face my mother could only describe as terrifying. She had no eyes. They were black voids that seemed to pierce through my mother's eyes. Her jaw seemed broken and hung open, and a reddish-black ooze dripped from it. The lady let out a high-pitched screech, and I started to cry in my crib. The lady turned back around to my crib. She struggled as she listened to my screaming. Then I stopped. Everything was silent. Her thoughts ran through her mind. She couldn't think right. After a while, she could finally get up. She ran into my room to check on me. I was sound asleep like nothing had happened. She grabbed a bat and searched the apartment to find nothing. Everything was the same as it was. She grabbed our phone and called our neighbor. "Hey, did you hear my baby cry? She was just crying a little bit ago." "What are you talking about? Your baby wasn't crying. Is everything okay?" I didn't know what to think. Was this lady a blessing or a curse? My mother also told me that my grandma dwelled in black magic, and it could be a byproduct of something gone wrong. But who knows, honestly? I don't know how to feel about it, honestly. Well, I can tell you how to feel about it. I know it hasn't hurt you, but I can tell you, you should feel scared. You should feel like this isn't okay, because it's not okay. I would be freaking out. I would never go back in that house like the other one. I would ask my mom why she didn't tell me about this earlier, because what in the world? And I'd be asking her if anything else happened like that. And I'd also, there's a lot of things I'd be asking. I'd be asking what kind of black magic my grandma got into, and if there was anything to protect us, because it sounds like you need some protecting. And that you need to not be wherever you are, like the other place. And it also sounds like you guys have too many black haired, white shadowy figured thingies following you guys in your houses. Like, is this the same house? Are you guys neighbors? I don't know, but like, I would not be okay. I would never be able to sleep again if either one of these things happened. But that's just me. Both of those were pretty crazy, but we're going to be now reading a story posted by Fragile Potato Chip, which is what I feel like right now, a fragile potato chip. These stories make me feel fragile. And it's titled A Reoccurring Dream I Had. And then it says, sorry for any typos, I'm writing on my phone. But sorry for any typos I have any time throughout my life. I don't have the phone as an excuse, but my excuse is I just can't spell, I can't write, I can't do a lot of things. But the story starts with, so when I was a little kid, about 6 or 7, I used to have a reoccurring nightmare. What is up with you guys having nightmares about scary things? I can't even remember my dreams. And you guys are having crazy figures and reoccurring nightmares and all this stuff. But anyways, I used to have a reoccurring nightmare, and I had the same nightmare every night for about a week. And then I never got it again, which I think just makes it a little bit more creepy. It's also not like any other of my dreams where I just remember some small portions of it. I always remembered the whole nightmare. But basically in it, I'd be standing in my hallway. Again, another hallway. What the helly? And I would see a very tall, shadowy man. Bro, you guys, I don't even know what to say about you guys. I would always be really spooked by him, so I would run into my bedroom, where a really old woman would be sleeping there, and I would always crawl up next to her, and then this monster would come into the room. The monster was black and had no face features at all. He had very big black ears though, a little like a fox, and he had a black cape. It doesn't seem that scary now, but also as a little kid, it messed me up for a long time. Also, something I thought was a little weird was that the shadowy man I would see in the dream was the same guy I would see in my sleep paralysis, which I got sometimes around the same time. I still live in the same house. When I was little, I had a theory that an old woman lived there when she died because of a few more reasons, but this post is long enough. But tell me if you want to follow up. I think we want to follow up. I tried finding it and I couldn't, but Fragile Potato Chip, you should give us a follow up and why you think this lady died in the house. Honestly, I think an old lady died in my house too. We also have weird things that happen just constantly all the time around here. But yeah, I don't know how old you are, but if you have a chance to get out of the house, I would. Like the other people I told just stay at a friend's house, I don't think it's that bad for you because it sounds like it stopped haunting you as much as it used to. But yeah, I think not staying in that house would be a good idea if you can. But it doesn't sound too bad, I think. I mean, all these shadowy figures and nightmares and long black hair and the ring, it sounds pretty bad, but I think yours was the least bad of the bad. I don't know. It was all bad. Anyways, I think that's the end of today's video. Honestly, I'm just kind of going with the flow with these, hoping you guys enjoy them, and hopefully I can put these out more than the other videos because those take more time. If you guys did enjoy the video, please hit that subscribe button. If you like these videos or like history or haunted places, also hit that subscribe button because I also post those videos and make those videos. Tell me which story you think was the creepiest. I think it was the first one. Yeah, probably the first one where the house burnt down. And was that the first one? I don't know. Whichever one where the house burned down or the smoke or whatever, and the cousin and the mom and the little girl, the baby, all that stuff. That was creepy. I think that was the creepiest, but let me know what you guys think. Again, please hit that subscribe button and I'll see you guys next video. Peace out.